Today, we're going to step inside a single classroom in Morocco to uncover a story. And you might be thinking, okay, one classroom, how important can that be? But what's happening there reveals a challenge so universal. It could be happening in a school right down your street.
So let's set the scene. It begins like millions of other school days every single day. The time is 8:15 a.m. and we're in a public high school in Morocco.
You know that sound, right? The students start filing in. And it's that familiar mix you see everywhere. Some are buzzing with energy, others look half asleep. But a lot of them, they're already disconnected, and the lesson hasn't even started.
The teacher kicks things off with that classic line, an instruction that's probably been said billions of times in classrooms all over the world. It's the start of a normal lesson, but you can feel it. Something is off.
Now, what's really happening here under the surface is fascinating. This isn't some loud, disruptive classroom. No, it's way more subtle. It's this quiet, passive disengagement. You've got a student scrolling on their phone, another just lost in thought, staring out the window. The teacher's up there asking questions and getting answers from the same one or two kids. Everybody else? They're just spectators. They're not even in the game.
So, the hour ends, the bell rings. And on paper, mission accomplished. The box is ticked. But the teacher is left with this quiet, nagging question. Sure, the material was covered, but did anyone actually learn anything? Did any of it sink in? And that feeling, that deep-seated doubt, it points to a much, much bigger problem. It's something we're calling the invisible learning gap. Let's break down what that actually is. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? On paper, everything looks perfectly fine. The curriculum was followed, the lesson was given, the teacher did their duty. But in reality, it's a whole different story. You've got a total lack of engagement, students just spitting back mechanical answers they've memorized. And that information? Poof, it's gone the second the exam is over. So here's the bottom line. This invisible gap is the huge canyon between the performance of teaching and the reality of learning. It's the difference between going through the motions and actually achieving genuine understanding. And that gap, well, it's getting wider.
So why does this gap even exist? What are the pressures that are creating it? It's really easy to point fingers at a single teacher or a few students, but the problem is way bigger than that. It's about the system itself.
One of the first major stressors is just simple math. In so many schools today, you're not dealing with a small, manageable group. You've got a classroom that can hold 40 students. I mean, think about that. That's 40 different learning levels, 40 different home situations, 40 different sparks of motivation, or a total lack of it. And one single teacher is expected to reach every single one of them with the same lesson at the exact same pace. It's an impossible ask.
So when you're faced with that kind of reality, and you're buried under a mountain of administrative tasks, your whole focus is forced to shift. The goal stops being, how do I make this material meaningful and engaging, and it becomes a race against the clock. The main goal becomes, how do I just finish the program?
And the second huge challenge is motivation. You see, a lot of students today aren't rebellious, they're just uninterested. They're asking the totally fair but really difficult question. What is the point of all this? How is this ever going to help me in my actual life? And that question is so hard to answer because you've got these two completely disconnected worlds. The student's world is all about smartphones, social media, and instant access to information. Then they step into the classroom, and it's like going back in time. It's all about copy, memorize, repeat. School starts to feel like this slow, irrelevant place. So what do? They check out. And all of this pressure, this huge disconnect, it takes a massive emotional toll. And it falls heavily on the one person standing at the front of the room, leading to this silent, internal struggle.
I mean, can you imagine? These are the questions that keep dedicated teachers up at night. They're trying harder, they're preparing more, but nothing changes. And they start to wonder, why aren't my students engaged? Why aren't my methods working anymore? Is it me? Am I the problem? Or is the whole system just broken?
And this is the most dangerous point an educator can reach. This isn't burnout from working too hard. It's a quiet, crushing loss of meaning. It's the profound feeling of futility, the belief that no matter what you do, it just doesn't matter.
So this story, which started in just one classroom, it forces all of us to look in the mirror and confront a really fundamental question about our entire model of education. And it's a question we just can't afford to ignore any longer.
You know, for generations, this model made sense. The teacher was the expert with the information. They explained it, the students listened, and then they were tested on it. And look, it worked for a long time. But that model was built for a world where information was scarce. That world is gone.
And that brings us to the final critical question. In a world where any fact is instantly available in a student's pocket, what is a teacher's real purpose? This isn't about blame. It's about recognizing that the ground has completely shifted under our feet. And the answer probably means redefining the job itself, from being a dispenser of facts to becoming a facilitator of curiosity. Finding that answer isn't just some academic puzzle. It's absolutely essential for the future of learning.